I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Don't go through a breakup alone. Click on the link in the description below to get a one-on-one coaching with me, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about she likes someone new. So the reason that I wanted to do this video is because this is actually a major factor that comes into play with breakups, and it's a very, very touchy one, as it is different for every situation. And so I thought I just wanted to touch upon this today, and it's definitely going to be a topic that I cover in the future, but I thought I came across a good email that would get into a nice introduction of when your ex starts to like somebody else. Now, if you're in a situation where your ex is dating somebody else or likes somebody else, definitely get with me, work with me, sign up for a coaching as soon as you can, because this is one of the most complicated and complex issues that comes up in trying to reattract your ex. And it's definitely an area that I'm going to give you a lot of help in, and I'm going to take care of you because I know how complicated these issues are. From first-hand experience, this is definitely one of my areas of expertise, and it's going to help you a lot to give me the information so I can look at it and help assess the situation and give you a really good strategy. It's like having a good general in your corner, right? I mean, you can try winging it and doing it on your own, but I'll tell you right now, this is one of the easiest areas to screw up reattracting your ex is when somebody else is in the picture, your ex likes them, and I see guys and ladies mess this up all the time, and you really want extra help if this is going on in your situation. I know I've gone through this personally when my ex was involved with somebody else, and she was telling me that they were serious and they had been talking about marriage, and we've talked about a lot of things that I remember her exact words, we've talked about a lot of things, and moving in together, buying a house and all this stuff. 2 months later, back with me. Why? Because I know how to handle these situations. Believe me, I lived it. And she was dating this other guy for probably 8 or 9 months, and I knew how to handle it. And that was several years ago. I have a lot more experience in this area now. So please, guys, come to me if you have a situation where your ex is interested in somebody else or likes somebody else, because I know you guys are really on the edge emotionally. Your anxiety level is through the roof. It's going to cause you to do reality distortions and have a lot of fantasies. As a matter of fact, remember I was just talking about the 3 guys that had success stories last week? Well, all 3 of those guys had their ex dating somebody else. Now, I actually just had a Skype with one of those guys today because he actually hung out with her and he made some really critical mistakes, and I was like, what are you doing? I've told you 100 times you have to follow this certain thing. And he didn't. He just, in the moment, he got cocky. He really starts fantasizing, and I keep telling him, dude, you keep getting caught up in these fantasies, like you believe that if you do it like this and you have these, he gets these ideas in his mind where it's just like, oh, I can do this and that's going to get her back. It's not how it works, guys. I promise you. I've seen this a lot. I know this, and this is such a tough area to, navigate through on your own, and you don't have to. Come to me if that's going on in your situation. I'm going to look at the situation. I'm going to get as much information, and I'm going to even be able to tell you how likely it is that those guys are going to break up and how soon that might be, just looking at the facts, okay? So, I got a really good email here today from a guy who's 33 years old, and he's dating a woman that was 30 years old, and they were together for 3 months, okay? He told me a little bit about the background, and he said that this girl's mother suffered from depression very badly when she was younger and even tried to commit suicide on more than one occasion. That's really, really difficult, and that is going to have a huge impact on this girl. I mean, you can't even imagine. Try putting yourself in that situation where, you know, growing up, your mom is depressed all the time. If you have a parent that has mental health issues and depression or a postpartum depression, you're going to be a lot more likely to be neglected, abandoned, mistreated. And, you know, I'm not faulting, I'm not trying to blame and say, oh, it's mom's fault, but sometimes things happen. That's just the reality of it. And the bottom line is, if mom had a depression like that, tried to commit suicide, I mean, that impacts a child. Like, I don't know what age it happened, but think about it. If the girl knew or had some suspicion of what's going on, she would internalize that and feel like she's not lovable enough to even make her mother want to live. A lot of deep stuff going on there, a lot of deep stuff. And I said right in this email when I was replying, it was going to have a huge impact on her ability to trust people. And then literally the next sentence down, he wrote, she has trust issues because of this and admits she doesn't like to let people close. So, she doesn't attach to people. It's a big problem. Big, big problem. Okay? Somebody doesn't attach, they're not going to value, they're not going to get close, they're not going to open up. There's a lot of things, there are going to be a lot of symptoms that come from that. They're going to be more likely to push you away. A lot of different things. So, I guess he didn't describe this very well. He said, I went away to Florida to scatter my mom's ashes, and I went through a tough time, and I leaned on her a bit. When I got back, she seemed distant when seeing her, but cheered up when out. I don't know what that means. A few days after returning home, she stopped initiating conversation. That's odd. I left it for a week, barely speaking, but asked her out, and that's when she said she was dating someone else. Think about that for a minute. So, I'm assuming this guy's mom just passed away because he went to go scatter the ashes. I'm assuming it was something fairly recent, and he said he had to lean on her. And gets back home, and she's already dating someone else? Seems to me that she already had this guy lined up. And she was already talking to this guy, she already knew who he was, and maybe she already had feelings for him. And if I was him, I would be furious. He doesn't seem furious, so, what did I just say? He doesn't seem furious. So that tells me he is probably repressing or suppressing his emotions, and he may have spent his whole life doing that. Because if somebody breaks up with me like that, my mom passed away, and then she's dating somebody new a week later, I'm going to be mad, because that's not right. So, let me move on here. He told me how he handled the breakup by saying, I just said she could have let me know as she knew I cared for her. She replied, cared? Do you not care for me anymore? You know my expression. When there's drama, look for trauma. Ta-da! Drama, right? I mean, here she is. This dude lost his mom. Now she breaks up with him to date somebody new, and then he's like, well, I really cared about you. And instead of being like, well, I really appreciate that, she's like, oh, you used to care about me? Now you don't care about me? Meanwhile, she's out with some other dude? Give me a break. Not cool, not okay. And personally, I think he should move on from this one because I don't like the way she's treating him. Alright, let me move on here. I said, I guess it is what it is, and I do care for her and would love to spend time with her, but if I can't, I can't. Well, you may have come on a little bit too strong there because she was telling you she basically is dating somebody new and you're like, well, I'd still love to spend time with you. In that situation, I wouldn't be so quick to say I'd love to spend time with you. You know, you don't want people to feel like they can just do that to you and that you're just going to be like, well, I'd still love to see you. No. Not so eager, right? Think about it. I said, I felt she could have been honest instead of just pushing me away, and she agreed. Great, now what? Basically, she said she wants to date the other guy as they have a connection from school, and it's easy as he doesn't know about her recent relationship breakup and only 10 minutes away. She says she doesn't know if anything will come of it, and it's doubtful. But I told her I'm an amazing guy and can't be second best to someone, so that's cool. I couldn't be friends as I liked her romantically. Well, good for you for at least sticking up for yourself and saying, I'm not going to be second best. Because you shouldn't. You shouldn't be second best to anybody. But, you know, like I said, I think she had him lined up, and here we have it. He knew her from school. Or she knew him from school. Whatever. She seemed shocked I didn't want to be friends and quite upset just before I left. So, she doesn't even care that he respects himself enough to stand up for himself in this situation. She just cares about herself. She's using him as an object, and most likely, in this situation, he's getting used for a backup. So, he said that some of the biggest problems in the relationship was that there was a 2-hour drive. They lived 2 hours away. That is a major strain on the relationship. He said that he didn't think it was a problem because it was easily done. But I said, okay, for you that may not have been a problem, but for her that may have been a big problem. Personally, I'm not going to date a woman that lives 2 hours away. I can't do it. I'm just too busy. I mean, it would have to be really something special to date somebody that far away. It's just too hard for me. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of flexibility. Not unless they're willing to do 80-90% of the driving. So, I don't know what this woman would have to say about the distance in that situation. She might say, no, I don't want to do a 2-hour away relationship. And they've only been dating for 3 months, so it's not like he could say, well, let's move in together. Well, don't. Well, I should say, no, don't do that, because some guys would do that. He said that she's very stubborn, and he's not sure if she'll reach out. Well, she's dating somebody new right now, and I think you're seeing a lot of her true colors, because she was lining somebody up, your mom just died, and she wasn't even there for you. She was distant and more focused on dating somebody new. When you tell her you cared about her, instead of saying, well, I appreciate that, she gets angry because you don't still care for her the same way, even though she's dumped you and dating somebody new. What planet is she on? I'm not sure. Because she doesn't seem to be existing on the realm of Earth and human behavior. Because she's just clueless. Just clueless as to how she's affecting this guy. The other major problem for this situation is that they didn't even have sex. They did other things, but I mean, that just goes to show another level here that she wasn't even that serious about this relationship because she didn't even get intimate with him. She didn't bond with him. And like I said, you know, when we have sex, it releases chemicals in our brain that causes us to bond and connect with each other. And so it's going to be a lot easier for her to push him away because she never really bonded and connected with him to begin with. They didn't date that long. I mean, there's a lot of things in this situation. So he wants to know, he asked me, what do I think of this situation? Well, I think that a lot of the problem is that for this guy, he's caught up in a fantasy. He only dated this girl for 2 months, so he doesn't really know her. He just knows the idea of her. He lives 2 hours away. They never had sex. She wasn't there for him when he was having some issues with his mom passing away. I mean, I don't know if mom just passed away or if he was just taking care of ashes that he had been planning on doing for some time. Either way, he was still dealing with a death and a grief, and she's not there for him. So why would you want to be with somebody like that? She seems selfish to me, and you want a partner that's going to be there for you. So in this situation, I would suggest that he moves on and finds somebody closer to him. Somebody takes his time to get to know somebody, and I think he probably has some attachment trauma that he needs to work on and figure out why he's ignoring the bad and the bad behaviors that somebody are doing in order just to be with them. So, if you'd like to get my help personally, go to my website, askcraig.net, and sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. If you like the video, put a like on there, and be sure to subscribe to the channel because I do post videos Monday through Friday. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.